Here.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We're very excited and happy to have a really cool speaker today. Um, Really excited to have a really cool team. Thank you, Sylvia, for getting the attention of our audience. So many of you here, welcome. We want to really teach a little bit and talk about the future of technology and real estate. Artificial intelligence is here. It's been something that many companies invested 10 years ago, and now AI is available to the public, to you as realtors. And I want to really make sure you are mindful of all the things that are going on in AI, in marketing, getting leads, and how this is going to be helpful for your business. Because if you're not using it, you're basically being lost in the past. So I'll have Sylvia, before we get our awesome speaker, Mr. Sonny Joseph. Sylvia, why don't you announce us, because you introduced him to us and we met him at the local board of realtors.
Yes.
Can you stand over here, please?
Absolutely. Hi, everyone. So excited to be here. So I can't take all the credit for this. Thankful for Robin here, Ruth in our office. She's a commercial agent. She attended a class over at the Arcadia Board of Realtors, which we have our seeds planted with people from this office, with West San Gabriel. We have people planted in Arcadia for education so we can best cover all resources available to you. Because as much as we are invested in learning and in classes, we're missing the opportunity of taking classes that are needed to be taken. We're missing the opportunity of, hey, I didn't know about this class or whatever, except we need to stay vested in whatever is here. Sonny Joseph is somebody that was mentioned to me by Robin. And as soon as she says, I took this great class, I jumped on it, called the Arcadia board. I said, I want this guy's information immediately. He very classy man. He met with Kelvin and Mark prior to the meeting to have a pre-meet. Very few speakers have a pre-meet prior to the class. So with that said, I feel like I've known Sonny and he's like a brother from another mother because he calls me at all hours and invites me to have Indian food with him. And I'm like, I haven't even met him yet, but he has a big heart. He has a big heart.
Thank you.
So with that said, Claudia's calling. Claudia, if you can see me, I'm live right now. Okay, so Sonny Joseph is a visionary strategist and technologist with over 28 years of experience in digital development, automation, and business systems, starting his professional journey at just 21. And that was last year?
No.
Sonny has built a career in precision, performance, and people-first innovation. He is the founder of BrandHub Agency, a SaaS-driven marketing and automation platform that helps businesses streamline operations and scale clarity. He also leads Pixel Shadow LLC, a custom hardware company focused on delivering elite level computing systems for creators, gamers, and professionals who demand more. Sonny is known for his ability to take complex systems and translate them into practical, scalable tools that unlock revenue, simplify execution, and restore control back to the business owner. His approach blends sharp technical insight with a deep belief in long-term partnerships, integrity, and building generational legacy. Whether building AI-powered systems or high-performance machines, Sonny delivers more than just tools. He delivers clarity, relationships, and results. And I have to tell you, Sonny, wow, some of these words is not words that you use every day. So if you don't rehearse them ahead of time, you have to really be on your game to say them. So that's called pressure. But I want to thank you for being here personally. You've showed Kelvin and Mark a lot of integrity. Mark's also on the education committee over at West San Gabriel and plugged it in. So you're going to be on a panel there. So we appreciate you for being here. I know Julia's also on the education and Lucy's not here. So you have some guardian angels. Well, that's it. Let's give him a round of applause, please.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And please mute your phones if you can on silence. Thanks.
Yes, please.
It's a pleasure being here. Thank you, Kelvin, Mark, and Sylvia, and Robin for the opportunity for being here. My name is Sonny Joseph. I have been in the IT industry, started as a consultant very young, but I professionally got into it when I turned 21. Before then, I've been coding actual programming since I was 8 years old. So this is an industry that I feel like it's water, drinking water for me. But through the course of the last 3 decades, I have realized that there is a lot of lack of information. And everybody around me is swimming in information, but practically cannot execute it. So now AI is an entirely different tool set. It has the luxury of being really helpful, but on the flip side, it also has the facets of becoming really bad for you, not only personally, but also professionally. So we're going to go through some very simple topics today. First is, what is AI, good AI, and bad AI? I'm going to talk on a topic for 10 minutes. We're going to take a break for 5 minutes. And we're going to answer questions. I'm going to answer questions of what you understand. And why do you think what I taught you is of any value to you? And you can stop me if I'm answering you and you want to interject a question, please do so. I want to make sure that everybody here sees the value of what AI is, not only in your personal life, but also in your professional life. How you use it is up to you. And how you gain traction with it is up to you. So let me start with that. Is everybody ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So the first intention is let's just talk about a simple understanding of what AI is. That acronym has been thrown around a lot in the community. Everybody says AI does this, AI does that. Most of the people equate AI to ChatGPT. And that's it. But you've been using AI long before you used ChatGPT. Alexa is based on AI. Google search is based on AI. Do you see what I mean? So you've been using it a lot, right? ChatGPT just got a face to say, oh, I'm here for you. I will be your virtual robot. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's a codependent relationship, which can be bad and which can be good if it's in a healthy situation, right? So AI stands for artificial intelligence. It doesn't have emotions. It doesn't know how to weigh an answer, humanistically speaking. It doesn't know the legal ramifications of X person or Y person communicating based on a real estate deal if you just copy and paste. Does that make sense? Everybody with me so
Yes.
far? So the first, you already gave examples of Google search, Siri or Alexa, and also Netflix recommendations. They're based on AI. You don't really think there's a human sitting behind a Netflix server trying to track what you like and what you don't like.
Like a wizard?
Yes. So it doesn't work that way, right? So everybody has used AI to some degree before you got the face of ChatGPT. Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Okay. Now let's talk about what AI does for you. Generally speaking. Well, AI can save you time, which in my life, in my experience, is the only precious commodity you have.
Yep.
Money will come and go. Business will go up and down. Personal life will go up and down. But what sticks with you is the time you have left. Would you agree with that?
100%.
Right? So building something on a humanistic platform and using it is extremely important because you don't want to put lack of information, low quality of information out there with your name on it. That makes sense, right?
Yes.
Now, what does AI do other than saving you time? Well, time is connected to your productivity. The more productive you are, the better you feel. You have these subliminal messages in your brain every day. Works for me, it works for all my peers. We all talk about the same thing. Well, I have this blind, invisible list I want to achieve today. In my mind, that's the production level I actually want to get to. And when you don't get to that, your anxiety level goes up. right? So
Yes.
AI can help you with that production, but it depends on how you use it. If you start using production and have a codependent relationship with AI saying, well, I don't need to do any of that. AI is going to do it because I just told it to, and it will handle it. It doesn't work that way.
That's interesting that you say that. Would you consider this being an appropriate word, AI addict?
Yes. Again, codependency of any kind will lead to addiction, in my book. Now, first thing first, as I explained AI, it saves you time. It can increase your productivity. But if AI is used properly for what it is, a non-emotional metric, it will actually define and show you new business models that you can capitalize on, that you didn't even know existed for you. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So I know that everybody is like wanting to use AI, otherwise you wouldn't be here. But I really would like to stop here and now take questions. First of all, I have a question for everyone. How do you currently use AI in your life, professional life?
I used Chat GPT and I asked make me a listing presentation. It'll spit out everything that whatever you tell it to or not tell it to do,
Yes.
and it'll create a file link. Sometimes it opens up and sometimes it doesn't, but you just spent maybe 5 minutes when it would usually take me a couple hours.
Yes.
So it's relatable to time. So, not relevant to real estate, but just relevant to life. I hear people are using it now for lotto tickets.
Yes.
What?
So, I'm a baby boomer.
Yes.
I was recently on a panel with Coldwell Banker, and there was a younger agent that called out the baby boomer generation by saying, you're not gonna be in this industry long because you're not touching the AI world. Those of us that are touching the AR world are going to, command the world with real estate. So then I took that as a challenge.
Mhm.
And I started researching AI.
Mhm.
So I started looking into AI. So I'm more into the podcast about AI. I can't say I'm codependent to AI because I'm more EI
Mhm.
than AI. It's just who I am. But I want to be more knowledgeable
Yes.
of what you're offering.
Yes. And thank you for saying that.
Sure.
See, my classes, my information to the community is to empower you. We provide services as an agency. We provide steps. SaaS stands for software as a service. We can help you have tools that really help you. But my class is not about selling you something. My class is kind of empowering you and the people you know to not fall in the pit of being codependent.
Okay, so that brings me to my next statement. There are many consumers,
Mhm.
sellers,
Mhm.
that are saying that they're tired of seeing everyone's presentation look like AI.
Yes.
So what Kelvin and I say to our agents is own what you're writing, make it your own.
Yes.
Don't make it a robotic version
Mhm.
where it looks like an engineer put it together
Mhm.
when you don't even speak the language.
Well, you're now talking about the core of what I do, which is running my business humanistically. Human relationships are not clear and clean. They go up and down.
Right,
AI doesn't see that.
right.
If you're just going to put something, copy and paste it and sell it to a seller, he is going to see the value of that.
I just wanted to speak on that point. AI is a helpful tool to help create what you need.
Yes.
And then you go over each aspect of it and put your personal spin on it, because AI does make mistakes.
So you have what I call it is checks and balances.
Yes.
And if you have peers, and it sounds like you guys have team meetings and you have chats and you have, things where you do that. The reason being is this: being in a team, you are not a loner. Like you have other people who can actually check what you're doing to make sure the quality of the work is going out. But also, for a second, think about sending something without checking it to a seller or a buyer and how that legally will affect the brand you're in or your life. Because we still do live in Southern California. This is the largest capital of lawsuits.
Right, Sue Happy City.
Yeah. So you have to be very mindful about what you're sending out. The one thing I do need to kind of say this out loud, because there are people here from all cultures and languages, that AI can help you translate in real time.
Yes.
Yep. So that's what I use it for that purpose.
Yeah.
You can get your Google Lens and you can scan any restaurant menu in Chinese or
Mhm.
Indian.
Absolutely.
And boom, it gives it to you in English.
Yes.
Second application I use it for, I take property listing photos and there's an annoying car or maybe a person in the way or something, I can remove them and use AI.
Yeah.
But do not use this for something physically tangible to the property like a power pole
Mhm.
or you can't erase those items. But you can take a car out.
Yes.
And the other application I use it for, when to go to your question, was like, for example, I taught Julia, I can write a property description. And then she goes on her rental, talks about her description, and then boom, you have a nice, lovely property description. But you do have to double check it, like Robin mentions.
Yes,
The checks and balances are important
Yeah.
on what is compliant and non-compliant.
correct.
And,
also,
Yeah, go ahead.
And my last one I use it for is to write emails for me.
Yes.
So I use it to write emails to buyers, to sellers and marketing, and I want to send out some stuff. And then I double check my email before I draft it out and I send it out on a
Yes.
specific neighborhood or a territory. And I can kind of cater that email to make it appear that I worked hard on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it
Yes.
took you 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And then also I like to add on the translation part, I can write and read Spanish. So when it translates it to Spanish, there's a lot of words there that don't make sense.
Yes.
And I have to correct it because if you send it that way, it's offensive,
Yes.
very offensive.
Yes. And not just to Spanish, like AI can literally translate all the languages in the world,
Right.
specific to what culture and background you are
Right.
facing towards.
Right.
My thing is, again, I'm coming back to what Kelvin just said. In my email, once you get emails from me, you will see that when I email you, my name is there. If the AI emails you, it will say this is BrandHub Agency Compliance AI talking to you. And it will have a legal disclaimer under it, so that you are transparent in your communications towards whoever you are respectfully communicating to.
Sure.
Now, you also have to understand the proposition is not that AI is this huge bad animal in the jungle that we have to be careful for. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you already have the wisdom in your field of expertise and your culture to tame the beast. But you have to use wisdom and pause before you use it. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so regarding wisdom and pause, what about I have been using AI in group environments where people are speaking a different language and I want to know what they're saying.
Yes.
Does there have to be a disclosure to the party in the group that you're using AI to understand what they're saying?
I would think that would be respectful if you're using an AI-based translator.
Because sometimes the conversations are uncomfortable.
Yes. And one of the things is that the tone then changes. See, if you're
Right.
transparent like that, people know that you're overloaded and you're using an app.
Yeah.
And they don't feel offended or they don't feel like they're being ignored. There are emotions involved where you don't want to be in that situation, I take it. So I would recommend having that check and balance and be transparent about the communication channel. Anybody else? Any other question at this point? Okay. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the good side of AI. Kelvin really touched a few points, but let's get into the practical part of it. See, when you're a realtor, I'm going to use your vertical, your business vertical while I teach this. You can generate a blog article about a real estate public property and put it up on your website. so that people, buyers or sellers can look at that property. But if you do that without checking on it, it might put additional information about the property that is not legally there. Just coming back to what Kelvin said, you can't really take out the power pole that's right next to the property. So you don't want to put something out there in the description in your blog that doesn't really relate to the actual property. So this part is a good AI. Good AI generates things for you that really help you do your job every day and do it faster and be more productive. But what does that mean? Well, that means if a job was going to take me 4 hours to communicate to 3 sellers, now that job is taking me an hour with all my due diligence, but the next 3 hours can be used to do more business. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The other part is that it actually does AI bots. Now let's talk about this for a second because this is what we build. They're called software as a service, chat GPT, interactive conversational channels of communication to a person who may or may not be interested in your company or your brand, but you're asleep. They're on your webpage. They're searching at night. They have no idea what to do. Now they have a question about this real estate property. What do? Well, our service allows you to talk to the person as if it's a real person and says, what exactly are you looking for? How does Sylvia Ramos's team help you? How can Sylvia Ramos help me? Well, I would say I'm trying to sell a property. Okay, what's the address of your property? What's the zip code of your property? Is it a retail location? Is it an office? Is it a land? What can I do for you? Well, these are the choices. What is your name? This is my name. This is my email. This is my phone. It instantly sends an email to Sylvia Ramos and it sends her a text message with the leads information immediately. But you were never there. See your two-dimensional page that is sitting on the internet, not doing anything, just giving information out, waiting for somebody to pick up the phone and do something. It actually just converted into a lead. That comes straight to you. See what I'm getting at? And they don't feel like they were ignored. They don't feel like, oh, well, I'll give her a call, but that thought went away. And that person never got back to it. So you are allowed to have AI bots that can do general sales for you within parameters. Now, let's kind of curve this up a little bit based on what Kelvin just mentioned. Let's say before they interact with the chat, the first question is, what language would you like to start communicating in? In real time, it will change. Chinese, Arabic. See what I'm getting at? It doesn't matter. For AI to be your assistant, it is not only giving you the value of being there when you are not there, human reasons, it actually is a real-time person who's speaking multiple languages and making sure the lead is not lost. Are you with me so far?
Yes, absolutely.
Do you see the value of that actual component, right?
Yes.
Because you're not there. And you're not hustling to find an interpreter somehow to be able to give a proper value to this relationship.
Would you consider this to be professional common sense for
Yeah.
someone not to put in social security number, account numbers, and things like that into an AI body of communication?
Absolutely. And we do that. When we build that, none of that is allowed. See, the only information that is allowed is generic and specific and can be customized to your brand. See what I'm getting at? That is now, let's say Kelvin says, I want this for all my agents, right? So when your web page loads up, nobody can put social security numbers or anything that is going to have a future lawsuit for Kelvin and your branch, right? So how do we protect that? As a software developer and the assets and the wisdom we have in our experience with my team, we don't allow that for the United States. See what I'm saying? And we are not built just for the United States. We have communications with Europe. We have to be able to have the GDPR documentation with them. So, in other words, to answer your question, we do not allow that. We take those parameters into place.
So that's you specific, but let's just say, I'll use Rob as an example. She's using ChatGPT and she decides to, I know you won't do this, Robin, but she decides to put her client's social in there. Is that something that's gonna be in the cloud for everyone?
Well, that's a very good question. So let me rephrase that question for you because I know what you're asking. So I'm gonna like make it a little bit deeper, okay?
Okay.
I pay $20 to ChatGPT. Is everything that I'm putting on ChatGPT within those $20 is secure and no one can see it? Isn't that the real question? I don't know the answer to that.
That's fair.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yes.
They say one thing, I can't guarantee. And based on the CEO's conversations and any results that I've seen, I wouldn't put any personal information, which is
That's where
degenerate.
professional common sense comes in.
Yes, because without common sense, these checks and balances go away.
Right.
And that's when you are able to use this as a weapon. Do you see what I'm getting at? It
Yes.
wields heart, not hope. Right.
ChatGPT will also flag you at some point if you use explicit language,
Yes,
cuss words.
absolutely.
You'll test it, Robin?
As a matter of fact, I did.
Yes.
And you'll notice it, and then you can say, well, why is my ChatGPT so slow? And it'll spit out because of this, and this. So
Yes.
somebody's
Yeah.
something and somebody is paying attention.
Well, their AI logic has explicit, if you go into the settings of ChatGPT, that's a whole new class. But if you go into the settings of ChatGPT, you can really tweak it and use it in a way that you never, ever, ever have to tell the information that you discussed with ChatGPT again. So it's like having a person, a human, with all the memory capacity of another human.
That's dangerous.
And be able to talk to them, to be able to see. So to answer your question, I would not personally and professionally, I want to say, I would not put your personal information, your identity information, or anyone else's identity information professionally and personally into ChatGPT.
Including birthdays.
I'm sorry?
Including birthdays.
Yes, because the thing is, it can relate because it's a massive database. It can actually relate to everything. So just to kind of end it here, I would like to say this clearly, that if you're going to generate a document, instruct ChatGPT to leave blanks that you will fill in later.
And it'll do it.
And it will do it for you.
Fantastic.
Do you see what I'm saying? Now, because I've been doing this for a long time, on your machines, there will always be a PDF reader, for example, Adobe. Now, Adobe PDF is there. You guys have worked with PDF, I take it. You can actually generate a PDF with fillable PDF fields and ask ChatGPT to give you those fillable fields. So that when you have a PDF file in front of you, you can just type it in. And that saves a lot of time, printing it, writing in it, all of that. Everybody good so far?
Yes.
Any more questions, please?
Is there anyone monitoring or regulating the inputs that people send out? Because I do know government may have access, Big Brother, like, or Amazon, your Alexa's out there, they're listening. If you activate it and allow them to listen all the time, you can go and hear all the discussions or arguments you had at home. And I'm wondering.
Yeah, so let me answer that a little bit. I'm going to go back in time a little bit. You gave up that right when you bought a phone. Your phone's listening now.
Yes.
So if you start collectively in a team, start talking about Sam's Club and the coupons that are going to be available next month for all of us at the local Sam's Club, I can assure you everybody's going to start seeing Sam's Club ads.
That's true.
Do you see what I'm getting at? So at some level, if you're asking me as a professional, do I have any doubts? Yes, I do. Otherwise, I wouldn't be putting legal disclaimers.
Just ask for winning lotto numbers and you'll start saying.
You with me,
"We're
right?"
Winning lotto numbers.
Because if Kelvin goes, hey, there's no checks and balances, like, is somebody reading it? I don't know how to honestly answer that. Because what they tell me is what you know and I know. We don't know what's going on in the back. Do you see what I'm getting at? They can legally, and they are legally qualified and funded to protect themselves. So how do you protect yourself? By using common sense.
Correct.
Checks and balances. Do you see what I'm saying?
But common sense comes at a high price.
Yes.
So if you use Chat GPT and that's what common sense is common sense really common sense for me or for Andy or for Robin?
I think that's a very, very, very good statement, and I'll tell you why. One of the things that it really relates to, even with me, which I noticed when I was actually working with it, is work ethic. What is your actual work ethic? I'm here right now. My mind is nowhere else. I value being in front of all of you. Do you see what I'm getting at? I am present. This matters to me. So when you're making a document for a seller or a buyer, that should value you. If you value it, you're going to put in the time, you're going to put in the proper checks and balances, and you will use the common sense and the wisdom you have learned as a professional till that point. If you need help, you ask a team member.
Okay, so the next question to that question. Culture also plays
Yes.
a role into that.
Very much so.
So can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Well, culturally certain, sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's okay. Well, I'll give you an example. Growing up as a little girl, I was always told, when you get up, you always push your chair.
Yes,
But if you ask someone else to do it, it could be offensive.
yes. So in other words, what you just said is, Sunny, I generate, and I'm going to put it in practical terms. I'm about to generate a contract for a sale. And the culture I'm working with is Nordic. It's from the Scandinavian countries. But the next item that I'm working with has to work with an Indian culture. Now I have both families. That's why I use those. So I can tell you right now, the presentation of that contract and the words have to be completely different. One is on one side of the equation and the other is on the other side of the equation. The words matter and they will know if AI is doing it and not you. So here's my challenge. Let's say you generate an AI document or an AI email. It'll take you the logic of a 1-minute manager to go through that email, take out parts that are not you, or change the words to match who you are. And you're done.
But you see people still using the little icons and everything.
Yes.
That belongs to it, and you're
But
like, that's
that's
right.
common sense,
Right.
but it also comes back to work ethic. Kelvin just said, I don't say it out or put it that way, but it makes it look like I've done a lot of work on the email, but it goes out and feels good because I was productive with it. Right? And that is what you're doing here.
Yes.
Any other questions? Okay, so I'm going to now move to the last part where we're going to talk a little bit about AI being really bad. Like, let's talk about fraud. Let's talk about scams. Let's talk about robocalls. Let's talk about generating emails that look absolutely legit. See what I'm getting at? Does this sound familiar? Now you're living in a world where scammers don't even have to program. See what I mean? It's a tool. It can be used both ways. So if you don't use this, you're in big trouble. Right? So the core concept of today's class is, well, I want to use AI. but is it going to hurt me? I want to be able to make more production in a day, but am I okay to do so? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Can I use AI in a different language than my own? Right?
Yes.
You can do all of that. You can use the weapon, and harness it, but you cannot let it be a weapon for the wrong. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It's like the public has been given a Ferrari. I always tell and use this quote, but y'all are double clutching it on the freeway.
Ah,
And Ferraris are not supposed to be double clutched.
can you repeat that? They're not supposed to be what?
Double clutched. Like
Oh,
double
double
clutch.
clutch.
You
Yeah, yeah,
don't know how to
okay.
use a stick shift.
Yes.
My-
So it's either that or I'm going to give you the one thing I teach on every time I teach on. Garbage in, garbage out.
I like that.
Garbage in, garbage out.
Use it.
Communities, people with computers, people with phones, you go and get your dopamine hit early in the morning on Facebook, on Instagram, or anywhere else you want to go. It doesn't matter. The reel should really show you what your patterns are. Right? But if you talk to ChatGPT and not use this, you give it garbage ideas, it has no human concept. It will give you garbage out. You see with me what I'm talking about here? So the scammers give it what? Hurt. They get tools of hurt out for the community, right? The scammers get to use the same thing you're using. So that is why checks and balances. Garbage in, garbage out. Now, the other part that I really want to talk about is deep fakes. Be very careful about your pictures, your personal pictures, your family's pictures, all of that with your identity information. Please be very careful about putting it online. Because AI can physically now create deep fakes that look real.
Including children's
Yes.
pictures.
So be very, very mindful about what you're putting on social media.
Now, that's a big buzzword in this office, mindful.
Yes. Because being present is always going to help you have checks and balances. If you're in a rush, you may get hurt. So if you want to not do what you're doing for 10 minutes and come back and audit what AI did for you, will be the best consult I can give you.
And that's the part we offer here as management. We offer EI to go over the checks and balances. And
Yes.
so eloquently put it.
Because we both know that I want to end this session in today's teaching is that you need to be able to know that you are using a tool that can be harnessed, but you're also using a tool that can hurt you
Be a weapon.
and other people as a weapon.
Yeah.
Disinformation, misinformation, misrepresentation would lead to a lawsuit. It is true in any business, in any country, not just in this country. Everybody with me so far?
Yes.
Okay, so now I'll take questions. I'll be more than happy to answer any and all questions, but I will leave you with this. With Kelvin's permission and Sylvia's permission, I want to let you know that I personally incepted and made a lead connector application that goes on your web page or website. When people come there, it's on 24/7 and it gives you the ability to talk to the lead, ask the relevant questions for commercial real estate, like I had mentioned, talking about what type of property, buying or selling, what's the location zip code, may I please have your personal information, and Sylvia Ramos's or anyone else's team will get back to you as soon as possible.
So
personal information is kind of not everybody's best friend. When you start asking someone for personal information and they're doubting who's on the other side, how do you overcome that obstacle?
The main thing I would, which I always customize these kind of tools for, is to ask for an email address, a first name, and a phone number, if they're comfortable with. And always give the person on your webpage or site the option to skip something that they do not want to put in. So one of those three informations, two of those three informations will be mandatory. The other one would be skipping. And just for today's class, for Sylvia Ramos and Kelvin's branch, I've put special pricing for everyone. There are flyers here. Please take one. It's for the whole office. There is no obligation whatsoever. I did not come here to sell anything. I just want to be transparent about that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
I just want to add that the way you present yourself is very genuine, very authentic, and it's very gracious. And it goes with the ambiance that here the Chang family carry out for our business family. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You want to?
What I'm letting you guys know as the application, if you want his services or you want to start using ChatGPT or AI in your business. All of you have a Moxie web page site that is powered by WordPress. Okay, so what that means is it's fully customizable. You can have X amount of pages. You can have pretty much unlimited. If you want to have 10 pages about me, if you go to a normal web browser for any agent or any company, it'll be like a home page. Then you'll have sellers, want to learn more about San Gabriel Valley. You might have a neighborhood recommendations. Okay, you can use ChatGPT or AI to say, oh, here's a best highlights of Temple City, best highlights of Arcadia, and you have a neighborhood vlog that you write that the AI is going to write for you. But you could also have a lead generation. You can have an area where you want to have, hey, you want to know your property's value. Click here, and it'll capture the information. Hey, you want to learn about your buying real estate? What are the things to prepare for? And then so you have an area for buyers. If you go to any normal website or sell things, they'll have what's called a little box at the bottom right, and it says ask an AI assistant or ask a bot. And it'll be like, oh, what's the price of this, or how do I return this product? That's what he does, a feature that you are capable of putting on your landing page at your expense. But at the same time, it should generate leads because it's interactive. It's working for you 24/7. And if you find the value, I know he has a very good product price. I think is reduced down to
$24.99 a month.
$25 a month to hopefully get some leads in your pocketbook where it captures their phone or email. And you obviously, it's not going to call for you. You got to call them and try to build them into a lead, but you'll know the type of questions that they're asking.
Yes.
You have some reference of what areas they're searching. And if you want to build that, I don't think it's a bad idea to try it. Okay.
And there are no contracts.
Okay. If you want to try month to month, you can.
Yeah.
I guess the way it says.
Yep.
I don't know how the workaround, I guess maybe elaborate a little more about what we could do to use it on our websites or maybe the effectiveness of areas other realtors are using it.
Sure. So everybody here, go ahead.
Before you go into that, Kelvin, do you want to ask everybody if they know what a bot is?
Do you know what a bot is?
Do you guys know what a bot is?
How do you spell it?
Gina, do you know what a bot is? BOT.
Okay, a bot, thank
It's a
you
robot.
so much. Thank you so much. So a bot is, imagine you have an assistant, right? You're not here. It's a human assistant. You come to work, it's here from 9 a.m. They're here from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's your office hours, right? Now replace that assistant with a robot. That's on your website, but it's on 24/7. Do you see what I'm saying?
Never takes a vacation.
Never takes a vacation. You train it the way you want to, what questions to ask. So it does the pre-sale or pre-lead questions for you at any time.
Sunny, Mark says it never calls in sick.
No, it doesn't call it sick. That's another thing. It says like my stomach's not doing well, I'm not coming in. No, it doesn't say that. So it allows you to do that. So that bot is what we have prepared. Okay, it is more expensive, but because of the Association of Realtors in Arcadia, when I started on this journey and started teaching, me and my team sat down and found that just like in this moment, there is a lot of lack of information.
Yes.
There is nobody here, especially me, who wants to tie you into something you will never use. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you can start with us, see how it goes, and understand, hey, Sunny, I don't think it's working for me. Can you either upgrade it this way or show me what questions I can ask better, and I will help you. Do you see what I'm getting at? And you can cancel anytime. Now let's talk about the web page that Moxie gives you. You with me so far?
Yes.
It's in an application called WordPress. What is WordPress? Does anybody know?
It's complicated.
Yes. So WordPress, you know when you type in www.samsclub.com,
Yes.
right? Somebody designed that page, right? A graphics designer or a computer guy, right? That application where the page was designed is called WordPress. With me so far? You don't need to know. It has nothing to do with your life, right? What he's trying to say is it's a software that we can work with to help you. Let's say SylviaRamos.com, SylviaRamosRealtor.com. She wants it. We give it to her.
I have Sylvia Ramos, but it's a dinosaur.
Right. So SylviaRamos.com, for example, that .com webpage will go directly and we will program it to the Moxie page. And on the Moxie page, not only will be her picture and everything about her and her listing, now there will be that bot. So when she gives her cards out to everybody, she can now, with me, with my help, my team's help, put a QR code on her card. My card has QR codes. When you scan it, it directly puts my personal information in your phone, right? You can do the same thing by putting your new website, web page, your domain name for everybody you give a card to. Go ahead.
Can we have a bot for a receptionist?
Yes. You can have a bot for a receptionist. You can have a bot for taking documents from people
For
on.
$25 a month?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Well, and you also have to understand, let's say that you have a Moxie page or a section where you're dealing with me about. I come in. Hi, what do you need from me? Well, I need these documents. Well, can you upload them? Well, I can't send them into an email. I don't know how to do this. We can program the bot for you to accept documents. Secured documents, not open documents. Do you see what I'm getting at? The bot has to be secured for your brand, for your family values, for your team's values. When you go to ChatGPT, it has no values. That's what I'm trying to communicate. You can use the tool, but you have to use it with wisdom and your values. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay. Any other questions?
What would would that, obviously there's the bot, that's a $25 a month service fee.
Yes.
Does your team have the capabilities of helping us improve our design of her
wow.
dinosaur Ramos page?
Absolutely.
They also
Yes. My graphics team lead's name is Gemma Wilson. She will sit down, and she's British. She's very straightforward. So she and my team will sit down with what your requirements are. She is going to set up the look and feel that you require. that you would like. And the way we work is we give you 3 different options. And then you choose which one works.
Is there a setup fee?
Yes, it's $49.99.
Okay.
And that's one time.
Is there a cancellation fee?
No.
So if any of you ever wanted your own website besides the Moxie, you could use the Moxie one and build that in.
Yeah.
And you just buy your domain name, kelvinchangproperties.com, or whatever domain name that fits you, like selling San Gabriel Valley.
Mhm.
I already have that one.
Yeah.
So you pick a domain name that's available, that's only like $20 a year, $25 a year.
Yeah.
And then you can make it point to whichever one builds for you
Yeah.
for 49 plus the 25-month fee or
Yes,
whatever the setup.
yes. And there are no contracts. And just to let you know, we do domain registrations as well. So if you need a name, Sunny, can you help me with this? That's part of the setup. And that the price of that yearly setup is included. So you don't need to pay for your domain name. We'll pay for it.
So can you have several domains? I have several domains.
Absolutely.
So-
You can have as many domains as you want because it's like alias. My name is Sunny Joseph, but somebody calls me Joseph, somebody calls me Sunny, because it's a preference of 2 names, 2 first names, right?
Yeah.
So for your website, yeah, if you have multiple new domains, you can make them all redirect to one,
Yes.
or you have a specific one for targeting like luxury, and this is my luxury website clientele versus
Yes.
maybe this page is for my property my rental business.
Yep.
And you have different clients pointing to that page. It's up to you how you want to build.
And not only that, please understand, you could also make, which I obviously recommend because I do this as I'm teaching, teach people about who you are. Showcase them properties, testimonials of your previous clients. That's where the domains really help to target and spider you onto the internet. Not just with one domain name, but multiple domain names.
This is a silly question.
No problem.
Um,
There's no silly question or stupid questions.
I don't know really how to ask it, but I'm just gonna ask it.
Yes.
I'm bilingual and I speak Spanish.
Yes.
Is ICE gonna target my website?
I don't think that's a thing, but anything that is on the internet, the government already knows about it. So the language doesn't matter, the background doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. What I will say to that question is,
Yes.
we can translate your web page in real time in the language you prefer.
Multiple languages?
Yes.
French.
Do you
Spanish,
understand what I'm
German.
saying?
Yes.
So if it's a global client
Yes.
and they want to speak Portuguese and want to look at your domain name in Portuguese or Spanish or actual Italian,
Yeah.
we can do that.
But how do we continue that continuity
Mhm.
after the bot?
The
Like-
continuity, then again, like Kelvin respectfully said, the work ethic and the common sense I can help you with, but you still got to pick up the phone and make the human relationship.
That's why I hire a translator.
Yeah, but the you have to also understand to me, being born with this, as I see answers since I was 8 years old, to solutions, to things that people don't around me have never seen, and then I made my name doing it. I have to let you know, me being in this field, I'm being transparent with you. Technology was never meant to replace human connection.
100%.
It was only supposed to elevate it. You don't need 15 devices to create a human communication. We are only here to help you organize yourself to make the human connection. Sound good?
Yes.
Anything else?
Any questions?
Thank you all for your time.
I have a question, sorry.
Yes.
Where do you see the future of real estate now with AI in 5 or 10 years?
I would say that AI is possibly going to list all listings for you for offices with the human touch, but with parameters on a web page that you can select.
Mhm.
And it will automatically create the most humanistic touch basis for realtors,
Wow.
personal and commercial.
What was the question?
And it will allow you to bid
Oh, really?
and sell in the future.
It's gonna replace the realtor then.
Because if it's done properly, they want to be able to replace that human connection to be a kiosk. I just want to buy this commercial property, click, click, and I'm done.
Did you hear that? You want to be replaced by a kiosk?
Thank you,
No.
Sunny. I'm gonna stop the recording here,
Sure.
guys.
So